Hey guys, well today's job, one of today's jobs is a brake job. We got a brake issue on this one car. It goes right to the floor and you have to jam your foot underneath the pedal and spring it back to get any brakes. So I'll take you guys through the diagnosis process and basically show you guys how I do what I do. Alrighty, so we got a Buick Skylark. Yeah, brake pedal goes right to the floor. You have to jam your foot under and pull it back to return it. First thing you do is you check the fluid level. You can see right down the bottom it's leaking. It looks like it's been leaking for a while, so this makes me automatically suspicious that the master cylinder is not working properly, or that it's bypassing the front. Front should be rear brakes. This one should be your front brakes, if I recall correctly, because the piston will travel and this front spring is a little bit softer than the rear spring, so this one will compress first and then that second one will start to go. That's how I understand it working anyways. Down there against the frame, right there, if it would focus. Let's see if I can, boop, there we go. Manual focus, man, I love this phone for that. That looks like your brake proportioning. So you got a couple of lines in and then they split off and go to different things. So we'll pop this cap off and see what's going on. I really hate these caps. You always end up pinching your fingers when you try to do that, so I just bypass my fingers altogether. Front looks good. Rear is bone dry. Okay, so yeah, I'm very suspicious of that leak down there, so we'll throw some fluid in it and see what happens. If it starts leaking right away, then obviously it's an issue, but we'll try to get some fluid in these lines and see if anything changes. I'm feeling very low energy today. I don't know why. I'm freaking bagged today. But we got stuff to do, so we're gonna do some stuff. Alright, well I needed to get her in and get the back end up, so I just drove it in, put the blocks down and backed up, so now I can get underneath it. Let's see if we got any fluid at the rears. But yeah, the pedal's not going it's going all the way to the floor, but I don't have to jam my foot behind it and pull it back up, so at least it's not doing that anymore, probably because it has a little bit of fluid in it. So we'll see if we can bleed them, and then I'll check for like broken lines and stuff, but yeah, let's see what we're dealing with. Well, I had to order a master cylinder for this thing. It'll be here on Tuesday. I tried to bleed the brakes and it just wasn't having anything to do with it. The only time you'd get fluid to the back is when you're pumping it. It will not gravity bleed, so I'm thinking something's probably up with the seals on the rear and the master. So that one's on hold. In the meantime, I got this thing all stripped out, all the parts that I needed off it for mine. I grabbed the window. I was debating, I'm gonna stop pointing, grabbing the window track as well, because mine's kind of pooched. This one seems like it's in pretty all right shape. I'm just feeling around inside it, but it's a bit of work to take out, but it might, I think it's just a bunch of screws. Like you got a Phillips in there, and I think there's a couple up there and around. It's in decent shape. You know, I should just freaking grab it, because mine's crap and my window keeps falling out every time I roll it down. The window's like, yeah. And then if I got a passenger and I don't tell them to hold the window back while they're rolling it down, the window will actually creep down and then fall into the door. Then I gotta pull the door apart to fix it. But yeah, I grabbed the ECM, the DRAC module, a bunch of the interior parts that are like impossible to find. I grabbed the front clip off it. Actually, I should have a look at mine and see if I need this lower valence or not, because this one has like the 80s style where it has the individual piece and then the grill is separate from the headlight bezels. I don't know if mine dips down like that or not, so I'll have a look at mine. Nope, mine's totally different. This piece is part of the grill on mine, so yeah, I don't know. My grill's pretty beat up. I accidentally backed into my truck with a customer's truck. The hitch hit right there. Luckily it didn't hit the hood. Zero damage on his truck, and I was going super slow, but yeah, that was a whoops. Yeah, she's got a lot of interesting character to her. Drifter stitches for days. I got it stuck and we wrapped the chain around the sway bar, and I told the person to go nice and slow, but they gave it a bit of a tug and the chain whipped up and crushed that lower valence. But then, yeah, I'm on the freaking pigeons. I'm on the hunt for a door. Eventually I'll find a nice one. Yeah, she's fun. Now I gotta start working on this thing. Try to figure out what's going on with it. It kept stalling on the customer, so they're pretty sure it's a fuel pump. Ever since it got picked up and brought here, it's been totally fine though. So I ran it, I drove it around the farm a little bit, and I can't get it tacked up, but we'll see what we can do with it. Hopefully, once it's failed, then like if it doesn't have issues, I can't find out what's wrong with it. And I pulled the front of the engine cover off, and it doesn't have a Schrader valve on it. Come on, Toyota, what are you thinking? But yeah, we gotta figure out what's wrong with this one. Yeah, guys, well, it's another day. It's been a weird couple of days. I've been feeling really tired. Back's been quite pinchy again, which is concerning. I've been triggering some anxiety and stuff, so I haven't recorded a whole lot, but I got the brake booster swapped on the car. It's running good. It was really simple. So yeah, I don't have any footage of that being finished. I was unable to get that Yaris to act up on me, so I just adjusted the e-brake and they took it, and it's been running great since, so who knows. And then I brought this one in. This is the next one. It's a 86 Bronco, and I'll show you guys what I got going on with it. I started a little bit yesterday and then I ran out of steam, and yeah, so I've only just started diagnosing this. Yeah, I'll show you guys what's up. All right, well, I had to pull the battery out because it needed a charge, and it wasn't quite dead, but what I should have done first was get the codes off it. Because yeah, when I pulled the battery out, I charged it overnight, it cleared all the codes. So there was only one code, and it was for the throttle position sensor right down here. It was unplugged. There's a whole bunch of vacuum lines that are unplugged as well, or broken. There was heat shrink connecting two pieces of hard line together. You can see the end of it right there. The other end is, yeah, right here. So this thing runs like absolute crap. It's got a massive hesitation if you give it any throttle, supposedly until it warms up, but I've been trying to do all the diagnostics and stuff while it's cold so that it is acting up, so that I can figure out what's going on with it. So what I've basically done so far is pulled the codes. There's no check engine light on this one, so I had to use the diagnostic port connectors here. I could show you guys how I do that. Yeah, this wire here connects to here to get the diagnostic codes, and then this one right here, the second one from the end, that will send ground. And then I used a little trailer light hooked up to positive and grounded it off that pin, and it actually flashes like a check engine light would, so you can pull the codes that way. And the first one that came up was the throttle position sensor low voltage, so that was unplugged, and inside the cable on the throttle position sensor side, it is like really corroded, so That's an issue. It's not the issue, I don't think, but it is a issue. Unless it is the issue. Yeah, so I'll get one of those ordered up for it, and then customer can grab that and drop it off, and then we can go from there. But yeah, I've done very little on this so far. I pulled the top thing off so I can actuate the throttle. It's got good vacuum while it's running, but if you give it any throttle, vacuum dives right to zero and it almost stalls out, and then it'll backfire if you hold the throttle open. So yeah, I haven't tested the fuel pressure yet, but they've got a Schrader valve right there, so that's very handy. Well guys, a couple days later, finally getting back on this thing. I said I was going to show you guys how to check the engine codes without a check engine light. This vehicle is an 86. It doesn't have a check engine light, so I'll show you guys what you need to do it. You can also use a multimeter. It's just easier with a light. You can count the individual on-offs versus watching the voltage fluctuate. So show you guys what you need to do. It has also been hot as crap today, so I got my fan going. Oh, that thing's a lifesaver. But anyways, what I use is I've got one of these little trailer lights. On the ground I hooked up a spade terminal, or blade terminal, whatever you want to call it, male version. I had this green wire kicking around for a different thing. It had this end on it already, so I just did the same thing there. This will run to the positive battery. So that's the light portion taken care of, and then this is your jumper. You can use a paper clip, a piece of wire. I decided to get fancy and put two spade terminals on the end of a piece of wire. So these little ports back here, I don't know if I'll be able to plug it in with one hand, but you want to go this top one here. Do I have it backwards? No, I don't. This top one here into the gray. That'll trigger your diagnostic output. And then the one kitty corner to the one on the red plug, that is your check engine light. So you'll put the ground into there and then run a wire to the positive on the battery. Turn the ignition on and then just count the flashes. I'll show you guys what it looks like. An alligator clip on that would be a lot nicer, but yeah, with the ignition off, we've got the light on, so I'll go flick the ignition into the run position. This is a key on engine off test, so it's a key, or KOEO. The other one is a KOER, which is key on engine running. I'm not doing that, but yeah, so I'll do that and we'll see what codes we get. Oh, there's a freaking spider web in the window. Gross. Oh, I just stuck my hand through the window and freaking cobwebs all over. Alright. So you'll see the light is off. Oh, I thought I had a spider on me. So I did this quick burst flash thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 63. It'll repeat that code if there's no other codes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 63. So it's that's the only code that's stored in this, and I knew that. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on. Code 63 correlates to the throttle position sensor, which is right down here. It is getting a low voltage or something code, but the throttle position sensor, its plug is just completely full of corrosion, so I'll probably end up replacing it. But first I want to test voltage and see if we're getting voltage at the plug. If we're not, then I gotta dig in and do more wiring work. So hopefully it's just a corrosion. You can see the light flashing in the background. So I'll just pull that. Good night. And if you want to clear the codes, while the key is on, just pull this jumper out. So, yeah, we'll get to probulating some wires. Oh, I've also got I picked up some some vacuum hose. So I'll fix this. That goes down to the broken end down there. Look, you can't tell because it's too dark. So, yeah, I'll get that buttoned up, and then hopefully that was just a vacuum leak and there's nothing else, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be lots else. There's some pretty crusty looking hoses on this thing. Alright, I got my jumper stuff, the check engine light stuff disconnected. Thinking about it, now that I can actually think because it's not ridiculously hot and my brain's melting, the fact that we only have that code on the throttle position sensor makes me think that the power supply is fine. It's because it shares with other sensors. So we'll probe it just for fun. Gonna hazard a guess and say it's probably the orange one. So we'll throw a probe on that pin there and see if it lights up. See what we're getting for voltage. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this single-handed, but we'll try. Yep, you can see the light came on. And I'll spin it around, and now we can see what the voltage is. Don't fall off. Shows 5 volts. Oh, hold still. Dang it, Bobby. Okay, you get the idea. It's hard to do with one hand. You guys saw 5 volts. If you didn't, take my word for it. I wouldn't lie to you. Alright, got my handy dandy headlamp on. Now you can see that wire, or the vacuum hose back there. Whoever worked on this before used heat shrink to connect the 2 broken ends, and that's not gonna work. So, where'd I put it? I picked up some vacuum hose, so I'm going to cut a little snippet of this off, probably about that much, and join them like that, because this, unlike heat shrink, will not collapse. So we'll get that fixed and we'll see what we got for vacuum, see if it's acting up still. I'll also show you guys what it's doing, because it's odd. It's very odd. There we go. Oh, focus. Yeah, so that even is not a permanent fix. That is like a diagnostic fix. Well, I guess that would be up to the customer. If they want to replace the entire plastic line that goes up to this bulkhead here, I'll do that for them. If they're happy with that, then I guess permanent fix. But yeah, I'll fire it up and show you guys what it's doing. And there's no point in plugging in the throttle position sensor because we have voltage there and it had a low voltage code, so throttle position sensor is hooped. And I don't know what the hell all this is. Somebody sprayed something. It's really oily. Yeah, it's probably lube. Somebody probably tried freeing up everything, but they got it like all inside the throttle body too. So it might have gummed stuff up. Who knows? Who knows? It's idling lower. See if it still does the thing. Oh yeah. It's a little more responsive. It doesn't backfire now. Curious. Well, I'll get the throttle position sensor replaced, and then yeah, we'll go from there. I'll run it a little bit. I'll maybe bomb around the farm a bit and try to get it to throw more codes. I should have scanned it before I pulled the battery out to charge it. It wouldn't start, but it would crank over a little bit, so it would have stored the codes, but I pulled the battery out overnight and charged it, so I lost all the codes. But we can get them back. I really should have taken the camera with me. I was charging my phone though, but holy crap, this thing is pretty much undrivable. You give it any amount of throttle over just like resting your foot against it, and it surges really bad, like it does when you crack the throttle when it's just sitting and idling. Barely runs. Like you cannot. I couldn't get it above 25 kilometers an hour, which is in my prime I could run faster than that. But I'm hoping that with having done that, and yes, I know hose clamps and stuff are not on, I just threw stuff together so I could do a quick test drive down the road and back. I'm going to hook up the diagnostic again and see if we have any more check engine codes. So hopefully we have more than just the throttle position sensor, but that honestly could be doing it as well. So I'll let the customer know that they need to acquire one, and I will install it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and see if we got any more codes. All right, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 63. We already had that one. Please give me something else. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I already have that. 1. Yeah, that's the reset, as in it's gonna all the codes. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So hopefully that's all it is. It's just a throttle position sensor, but we'll find out once we get it and I install it. So anyways, that'll do it for tonight, guys. I'm bagged. It's getting to be damn near 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna start to unwind, and yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.